Hey everyone, this is Dr. Drizzle and welcome to the National Parks Expedition Challenge. Today we are in Indiana at the Indiana Dunes National Park, number 62. We are so excited to be out here in this beautiful landscape. And today we have two rangers that we're going to talk to, Kip and Kim, and then a little guest star that's going to stay over with Kip. So thank you both for joining us today. This is very exciting. You picked a beautiful day for us to be here. It's cool out here in this beautiful Indiana weather. So Kim, we'll start with you. Tell us what brought you here to Indiana Dunes National Park.
Well, I've worked here at Indiana Dunes for close to 25 years. I really love this area, this park. I'm a native Kentuckian, and got my start with the Park Service after I did Peace Corps, and then started at Shenandoah National Park for a short internship, and then just moved here to Indiana and fell in love with this area and the Great Lakes, and I haven't left.
Well, I can see why you would fall in love with it. Kip, what about you and your friend?
Yes, my friend, this milk snake here. Yeah, well, I started out in Springfield, Illinois, and I worked in the summer, 3 summers, while I was in college. I worked doing an internship there, so it was really nice. I really enjoyed the National Park Service, and once I was done with that, I was able to come here because environmental education was my major when I was in college, and so this was just a better fit for me. I love the outdoors. I love working with kids, and I haven't left. I've been here 25 plus years as well, and just found my home here, and I love it. So.
Well, that's very unique. Several of the places we have visited, we have park jumpers, as they call. They are, stay for a couple years and they move, but you guys are pretty much park lifers. Yeah. You found your place and you really like it. Kim, this has not always been a national park. In fact, it's just recently got the designation. Can you tell me a little bit about that? What was it before, and
Okay.
when did we get to become a national park?
Sure. So in 1966, Congress designated this as Indiana Dunes National Lakeshore. And so it was, one unit of the national park system, right? Just like Yellowstone, just like all the other big parks that people are familiar with. But it had that lakeshore designation at the end. And over the years, the park had been growing and visitation had been growing, and there was some movement by some local organizations and our local congressman to elevate the status of the park and to give it the recognition that many people felt it deserved by having park at the end of the name. And in some ways, it didn't, changing the name doesn't change any of our rules or laws, or it doesn't change our budget, it doesn't change anything other than getting us in the list with some of the other parks that do have that name on their designation. So we were really excited when it happened, because now we get to be included in the coffee table books, we get to be included and get that recognition that all the national parks deserve. But it's a little bit more of a status symbol for us.
Well, we're glad it was added. My t-shirt that I have at home has the 61 national parks, but they're just coming out with a new one where I'll have Indiana Dunes on that, so I'll have to pick that up.
Yes.
Now, Kip, because you're holding a snake, we are going to assume that you have some knowledge with that, especially with your environmental science degree. So tell us a little bit about your friend and maybe some of his other friends around here.
Right. Well, this happens to be just a common milk snake. It's one of the snakes that are indigenous to this area, and they're basically a constrictor. So they don't have poison. They're not going to inject venom or anything like that. They're going to grab their prey, wrap around, and constrict until the prey suffocates, and then they're going to swallow it whole. That's how he consumes his food.
So I'm safe.
You're safe, exactly.
Excellent.
You're safe, and I'll be honest. Most of the snakes here, that's how they acquire their prey, their food. Yeah, Indiana Dunes National Park is amazing because it does have great biological diversity with the different habitats that we have here. We've got over 350 bird species that you can come and hike and look for birds. We've got well over 1,100 different plant species that are amazing here. 46 or 45 different mammal species. So the diversity is excellent here. And that stems from many, many years ago. In Indiana, you had different native species, different native people living here. You had the Miami and the Potawatomi, among others, living here. And so that diversity has been going on for a long, long time. Through time, people moved here. So you've got cultural diversity, people, Hispanics, you've got African Americans living here, you've got that diversity, and it just all comes together with the plants and the animals and the people. It's a perfect place.
A total John Muir moment here, saying
Right.
that when humanity and nature intertwine, they're one. We are in a really special place right now. Who wants to tell us about where we are? What kind of ecosystem or habitat we're in?
I can take that one if you like. This area we call Miller Woods, but the habitat is an oak savanna. And oak savannas are very, very rare. There's very little of them left in the world, and certainly in this country. And we're really, proud of this area because a lot of work has had to go into maintaining this. As Kip mentioned, native peoples had maintained this open landscape like you see, where these tall oak trees stand, but there's not a thick understory like you would see in a traditional woodland like you might see out east. And native peoples kept that open with fire because that allowed for the blueberries and for other, wildflowers and other species that were used to harvest for medicines or food and things. It allowed them to grow in here. So people recognized that this kind of habitat was unique and special. And this is also kind of interesting because it's not just the oak savanna that you see on the high portions. We have these like kind of swales where the lowlands are, where you have these marshes and these wetlands. So as you hike through, there's like a 1.5 mile trail that takes you out to Lake Michigan here. And as you hike along this trail, you see all kinds of variety of these small and large marshes that are in between these dunes and this oak savanna atop it. So it's a real patchwork of all different kinds of habitats, just all within a very small acreage and small size of land here, and but yet a real diversity of landscapes.
Kip, what is your favorite thing about this area?
Well, I sound like a broken record, but it's the diversity that we have here. Not only culturally with the people, but the plants and the animals. The cool thing is when you're out doing a hike with kids and you're hiking, you never know when you're going to see something that you haven't seen before. Even as long as I've been here, 25 plus years, I always see something new. Every year I see something different or something new. So I think that's what just keeps me jazzed and energized to be here.
Kim, anything different?
I would guess that I really love wildflowers, and I'm a photographer. That was my major actually in college. So I didn't really see myself as becoming a park ranger at all. But over the years, like I said, things changed and got exposed to new ideas, and actually came here and got to do a lot of photography. So it was a great way to mesh my passions in a way. And so I get really excited about seeing all the different kinds of wildflowers that are in here, and each little plant community hosts something, like Kip said, new and different. And again, with my interest in photography, that makes it a lot of fun for me to go out. And I've lived in a couple different areas of the country over my lifetime, and certainly visited a lot, but I always just feel so excited coming back here because, again, a new season brings something new to explore and to learn about.
Well, you said something really important. We encourage our students to have their passion intersect with their purpose. And so, thinking about passion and purpose for just a moment, we're going to issue our challenge to you. So we are located on some areas of water, and a little bit later you're going to see some of that water at Lake Michigan. But here is your challenge. Knowing that all waters are not safe, and there are some times when you have to be careful about the water you get into, we want you to create some wearable tech. Now this wearable tech is going to be something that you can attach to your swimsuit that will detect when the water has a high bacteria level. So I don't know what that looks like yet. In fact, we've done some research and we can't find something exactly like this. So you're really going to have to push yourself to see if you can understand what types of bacteria would be harmful, how you can get that bacteria to be recognized by just dipping it into the water, and then how you can wear it fashionably on your swimsuit. So that's going to be your challenge, and you're going to tag this at Nat Park Challenge. And we also want you to tag the national parks here at the Indiana Dunes, and we'll run that across the bottom of the screen. And as always, tag me at Daisha92. So Kip and Kim, our kids are always looking for opportunities to think about what they can be when they finish school. So you've talked a little bit about your degrees in photography and environmental science, but if you could tell the kids, just look at the camera, we'll start with Kip. What should kids do right now that would get them prepared for this, besides going out and picking up a snake in their backyard?
Well, just just keep your passion going. If you love the outdoors, if you love history, if you love people, just keep that going, because the National Park Service, that's a place where you can, hone all that. We have natural history places like this, and we have cultural history places. So, whatever your passion is, the Park Service is for you.
Kim, what about you?
I would also say, go volunteer at a park at any age. All of our national parks have fun opportunities, and depending on what your interest is, they probably need that work done. National parks hire folks who work in accounting and information technology and on computer science and engineering and math and all kinds of disciplines. And so it's not just the science, and just like me, I had a photography background. I was not a science person or a math person, and actually tried to get away with as little of that as possible. And so when I was graduating high school and then thinking about college, I never would have thought I could work at a park, because I thought that that's what you had to have. And now I realize that's not true. National parks need they need all kinds of skills and all kinds of interests, and it doesn't always even have to translate to a 4-year degree. There's jobs in all kinds of disciplines: fire, law enforcement, maintenance, you name it, we need it done here, because we have like a whole little village here in some ways in all of our parks, and so lots of skills to be used.
Well, it goes back to what Kip said about this place being very diverse, and it also needs diverse careers. So Kim and Kip, thank you so much, and little man, for allowing us to look into the Indiana Dunes National Park and sort of see a little bit about what you do. Kids, we're excited about this trip. We want you to contact us and let us know what you're doing to try to save the world. This is Dr. Drizzle, out.